Okay, so we've looked at the prison system and what it is to be imprisoned and the psychological effects that it has. We're now looking at alternatives to prison, so things like probation and restorative justice. Now, this sort of bullet point really focuses on the individual differences and social cognition of the individual. Now, our first study is the Mair May study in 1997, and it was looking at the experience of offenders in their probation service in UK and Wales. They first of all did a pilot study where they sent out surveys to probation officers in the UK and Wales. They had a really low return rate on these, but they messed with the statistics because it was a bit of a pilot study and weighted the numbers basically, and they realised there is a pattern and it was worth doing a full-blown study on the effects of probation on offenders. So why do this study? Why did they get the money to do their full study? Well, there's 200,000 offenders on probation. They're on different types of probation, such as rehabilitation, punishment, a combined approach of rehab and punishment, and drug and testing probation orders. 90% of the people on probation are male, 25% on probation are female. Probation order is just looking at how to deal with a person when they've still got time to serve, but trying to serve it in the community. So it's sort of that middle ground, still lots of rules, lots of confinement, little bit, still they don't have full control over their lives. So remember, this study is in the UK and Wales. The method that Mair May used was interviews. So they went out and they collected interview data. The data they collected was quantitative, closed questions, and they also used Likert questions as well. So all quantitative data to look at patterns of beliefs in their probation service from offenders. They looked at 22 officers across the UK and Wales, and these officers were chosen randomly from 3,299 potential probation office places they could go. They then stratified the offenders once they got to these officers to include a varied range of ages and also different offences and crimes that they had committed. Now, in this study, there's a 40% dropout rate. That means the attrition is appalling. So the results showed that criminals aren't very reliable. It's sticking to things which could be a dispositional and individual difference between offenders and non-offenders. So 40% dropout rate. Obviously, this is bad for the study. They did manage to get some results though. I don't think they weighted their statistics again this time, but their results showed that of the offenders who stayed in the study, 88% thought it was useful. But don't forget, these are the type of offenders who stayed in the system, so therefore did they actually just get more out of it anyway. 60% had faith that the probation service would help them and improve their lifestyle. But only 37% said it would stop them reoffending. So the support the probation service they were giving them probably wasn't enough for them not to turn back to crime. And this could be things like social pressure off family, social pressure off gangs, or simply financial pressures. So the probation service, the study we've got in front of us, the Mair May study of 1997, doesn't seem to answer the issue of recidivism. It gets people out of the prison system, which is an expensive system to have, but it doesn't seem to be the final answer against recidivism.